that what we were doing. So we derived the expression for, energy equation for flow processes or open process. So we have, this is our energy equation for flow process, right here. This we have derived. This is valid for control volume, and we reached to this derivation through control mass. We started from control mass because the fundamental principles like energy conservation or what we know as Newton's second law, these all are valid for a fixed set of particles or control mass. I have sent to the lecture link, so I guess you got it. Anyone? Rahul, you got it? Rahul, Rohit?
So we were updated by mail that today's class, and we joined through Teams.
Sorry, come again.
We were updated by you that today's class from 3 to 4.
No, not this one. I'm saying I've sent you the lecture link for Reynolds transport theorem. Hello? Yes, who is it? Who answered?
So it's day.
Sneh? Oh,
But
yeah. Yeah, I'm saying that I have posted the lecture link, right? In case you are interested in that Reynolds transport theorem, that how we bridge control mass to control volume so that we can apply fundamental principles. That link you got? It's I have posted it in this Teams itself in the post.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just I'm informing you. I'm not cross questioning anyone. Let me ask you more. So Sugdha Prasad, you got the link? Sugdha Prasad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got.
Have you seen that link?
No, sir.
Oh, this is not good. Follow the lecture. It's a huge course, believe me. If you will not follow, there will be so much backlog. Okay, so
I will do it.
yeah, do it. Otherwise, just have a look at what I'm not saying you that you should learn the whole derivation, but this is the stage of learning, and as much as you can learn. Okay, Tanmay,
Yes, sir.
what about you? Yeah, at least you have seen the link or not yet?
Sir, I have seen the link, but I have not watched that video
Yeah,
yet.
so please go through that. Okay, although it's
Okay,
optional,
sir.
but believe me, you will enjoy it. It is the same thing which we have done.
Okay.
We have done it for energy. There it has been done for a general variable that is called eta. Okay, so go through it. Okay, fine. I think everyone got this assignment 2 solution. It's there. We have uploaded. Assignment 3 will be uploaded soon. Okay. What else I said? Let me see the post and then we'll resume the class. This way we all will be on proper track, that all the information has been passed properly to you. So that also very important. If I want to see the post, I guess I have to go to Teams. What else I posted? So this is fine. That's a solution. Assignment 2 is there. Fine. Derivation of Reynolds transport theorem and class illustration. Okay, perfect. So everything is there till now, whatever we have covered. Great. So now we go here. Okay. Okay, so Tanmay, so you so we have derived this energy equation in the last class, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we are going to see, and we will interact for, let's say, next 5 minutes. So now we are going to see the application of this master equation for flow processes, and you will find that there are so many industrial devices on which we can use this equation. So we assume that most, just for the simplicity, that most of such devices work in steady state. Not always, but since we are engineer and we need a rough estimate, we are assuming steady state. It may not be a safe assumption in all cases, but mostly. So what you see here is nozzle. Okay. Now let me show you how this nozzle works. So the top one is nozzle. Can you see, Tanmay? Nozzle, the animation.
Yes, sir.
So what is happening
Yes,
that
yes.
the area of cross section is getting narrower as you move towards the flow direction, right?
Yes.
And it leads to increase in velocity. As you can see in the left hand schematic, V2 is very, very greater than V1, right? So that is called nozzle. Okay. So in nozzle, what happens that this velocity, why we use nozzle? To increase the velocity significantly. Can you give a practical example of nozzle? Can you think from our real life? What should be the use of nozzle?
Garden hose.
Yeah, very good. So when you want to sprinkle at a long distance, if you want to cover, then this nozzle helps. Okay, great. Sometimes we also use for atomization because velocity is so high that these molecules get detached from each other. I mean, it's a small lump of masses. So fountain also. Okay, so atomization of fluid molecules, you can use nozzle for that purpose. So now let's write down. And then just below we have diffuser. Diffuser means suddenly this fluid opens to a larger cross section. Okay, so velocity drops down significantly. So this is nozzle we have. So this is nozzle and this is diffuser. Okay, so as we discussed, if you remember, that if we assume that this nozzle is working in steady state, then what will get cancelled?
At steady state, the left hand side of the equation, dE by dt, will be 0.
Okay, now
That
you
is the
assume.
steady state.
Okay, good. Now you assume that nozzle is
And
there are two things. Either you can assume it's adiabatic nozzle, means completely covered, so there's no heat transfer, or this process is so fast. That safely you can assume that it's adiabatic. So then what it will lead to what, Tanmay, in this equation?
Q dot is equal to 0.
This gone, good. And we discussed that since there is no difference in elevation, so what will go?
So Z1, GZ1 and
This
GZ2 will
gone,
be
okay, right?
0.
Yeah, fine.
And
What about this W
W,
dot S?
that will be 0 because there is no
Yeah, because
shaft
there is
work.
no rotor, right? Either.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is gone. And what about this MI dot and ME dot?
They will be same because it is at
Yeah,
steady
because it's
state.
steady state. So steady state with respect to mass also, right?
Yes.
So this also gone. I mean, it will come out. So we left with this master equation. Okay. So this is for nozzle and for diffuser also, because the operation is going to change, but this equation simply relates V1 and V2, final and initial. V2 can be greater than 1, V2 can be less than 1. Okay. Now, see why, you remember why so many times we discussed in steam chamber in terms of enthalpy, because you will find that in most of such devices, in this thermodynamic devices, this enthalpy terms becomes very, very important. Okay, most of the equations are in terms of enthalpy and other terms, of course. So this is the master equation for nozzle and diffuser. Okay, now if we'll take let's say if you take a gas very close to ideal gas, let's open a new page. If you take a gas very close to ideal gas, okay, and if you so let's say we take ideal gas, right, and if we say that V2 is very, very greater than 1, so then what will happen, Tanmay? This equation will lead to what? Just try. So let's say H1 is HI, right? Okay, H2 is H exit. Can we ignore V1 with respect to V2 with this assumption?
Yes, we can.
I mean, we can, because
We can say that.
yeah,
We can ignore.
yeah, that's what I'm just approximating. So this will be plus V square by 2. Okay, V exit square by 2. So V exit will be twice of, sorry, 2 will be also inside the square root of Hi minus He. Now, can you please tell me, Tanmay, that for an ideal gas, how we can express it in terms of temperature difference, Hi minus He. Just try. So what is dH in terms of dt for an ideal gas? Or in general, what is dH in terms of Cp and dt? How we define Cp by the way?
DH is du plus
How we define
PdV.
Cp first? Tell me Cp.
Cp is
Yeah,
Q.
I think you have read these things many times during JEE preparation. Cp, Cv, Cp
Yes,
minus
sir.
Cv.
Cp is
Del H by
dq
del
by
T at
n
constant P.
dt.
Yeah, so you're saying dq by at constant P by dt and take n equal to 1 mole, right?
Yes.
And dq at constant P is what? We know it as dH. So it's dH by dt.
DH.
So dH is simply Cp dt. Cp dt. And dt is nothing but temperature difference, that is Ti minus T. Okay. And if you assume this process is adiabatic, can we relate this Ti with Ti in terms of pressure? Yes, right. If we say
Yes,
PV
sir.
raised for adiabatic
The
process,
PV
PV
to the
raised for
power
gamma
gamma is
constant,
equal.
right? So you can express in terms of PT also. So that will lead to, if you can express PE.
Pressure to be constant.
Sorry.
So we have assumed pressure to be constant.
Okay. Now who asked this? So I assume that. Okay. Yeah, there is a very fundamental doubt I would like to clarify. Yes. Tell me your name first, and then we
Sir,
will.
Naman.
Naman, see.
Yes, sir.
Very good question. So you think that since we are defining DH at CPDT, you think that our process is isobaric process? That is your doubt. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Because like
Okay.
we use DH is equal to
No.
CPDT.
Now, okay, I'm fine. That's fine. This doubt is quite genuine, and maybe for many others also this doubt exists. So let me clarify it, and you yourself will say yes, you are right. So now tell me, Ethan, what is DU in terms of CV and DT?
DU is NCVDT.
NCVDT.
So N okay, N1, that's fine.
Yes, sir,
So
CVDT.
are you saying that all this is only valid for isochoric process?
No, it is valid in general
No,
because
sir.
DU is a state
So,
variable. It
so
will never depend on.
for our friend Naman, see that is this is the way to calculate DH. Okay,
Okay, sir.
that if Cp is the property of a gas, which you can calculate by doing an experiment at constant pressure. But that doesn't mean that if you are going from state 1 to state 2 by any means, either
Okay.
it or DH is always going to be what you calculate from CPDT. You don't need
Okay.
to do the process. Okay, you got the
Yes, sir.
that is
Now I
you know,
got it.
that confusion happens. That's quite genuine. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So there is no harm in writing DH is CPDT. CP is a, you can say it's a gas property. It's a property of the material. So that's fine. Okay. Yeah. So T we can express as Ti P by Pi. You can check it. Raised to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. I mean, this you have done a lot in JEE. So you can. So basically, you can express V in terms of our inlet quantities. Okay. So if I write the expression of V for a nozzle, ideal gas. So ideal gas, adiabatic nozzle. Ideal gas, adiabatic nozzle, and assuming that V exit is very greater than V inlet, which is generally valid for a nozzle, the expression of V exit comes out to be square root of 2 Cp Ti 1 minus P exit by Pi anyway. This is a very simple problem that you can solve. Just as an illustration, I took it. Gamma minus 1 by gamma. Okay, nothing big deal. So that's it. And similarly, problem can be asked on diffuser also. Then we have seen heat exchanger also. And if heat exchanger, heat is getting the heat interaction is taking place within the system itself. So if you talk about heat exchanger, then in that case Q dot 0, this is 0, all other things are 0. We assume that either V inlet equal to V outlet, because generally we use pipe of uniform cross section, or you can say simply that velocities are not important in a heat exchanger. They are not flowing at very high speed. So you can ignore this kinetic energy. So, and of course, this elevation is also almost identical throughout the heat exchanger. So we left with this. And if you have multiple inlet and outlets, there is a summation. This is also very easy. Okay. Great. Now, I'd like to discuss something I can say more fundamental. Okay, and then we'll go to another device. Or let's discuss first the another device, and then we'll come back to the point which I want to discuss. Fine, great. So this is done. New page. Now we are, so thanks Tanman. Now let's see whom we can talk. So I was talking to Naman Goyal or Naman Jajani.
Sir, me, Naman Jajani.
So Naman Goyal, let's discuss few things with you. Naman, you can hear me, Goyal?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now we are going to see something very important for a chemical engineer. Like that is your, I mean, whenever you will go outside, at least these people will expect these things from you. That at least this, So let's see what that thing is. Of course, nozzle and diffuser is important. Now another very important device you will see is this compressor. Okay. You will also listen similar kind of name, pump. So does anyone has idea what is difference in compressor and pump?
Yes, sir.
Am I disconnected or connected? I am connected, right? Naman, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Now, now
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So the difference in compression and pump is as follows. In compressor is generally used for gas, remember. Okay. So generally for gas, because here we compress the gas. Pump is for liquids. We pump the liquid, because generally liquids are incompressible. Okay, generally, as compared to gas, they are incompressible. So then you pump the liquid so that it can move forward. So that is the difference in compression and pump. But equation wise, energy equation wise, there is no difference, and we will see how. Okay. So now Naman will help us. So let's see. Let's bring down this energy equation here. Control C, Control V. Okay. So Naman, let's talk. Okay. Before we move ahead, I'd like to show you how this. So see it carefully. Naman, can you see how this? So you only see the top two diagram. Okay. This pump is working. Sorry, compressor is working. Naman, you have to respond. Can you see how this compressor is working? Yeah, what is happening? Consider it as a job interview. You have to be a bit extrovert. Okay. So what is happening? What do you think? So it's the structure of this rotor, special structure of this rotor, which always traps some molecules, some gas molecules, right?
Right.
Due to this blade structure, every time some gas gets trapped between the two fan blades, and then it gets compressed because it has to come out with the smaller volume. Okay, so that's how we compress the gas. Or you can say that by this way, we always trap the gas molecule and send to a tank. So you are sending the gas, keep on sending the gas in a tank. So if you keep on sending, there will be too much pressure. That's how we compress the gas. You got the point? So this is compressor, right, Naman?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So if this is compressor, what do you think? That whether external agent has to work or fluid will work? What do you think? From your intuition, from your general thinking, what do you think? Whether an external agent has to rotate this rotor or fluid will rotate this if you want to compress the gas. What do you think?
Sir,
Acha, have you
external.
seen compressor, like how it works? Have you seen it? So in compressor, what actually happens that when you run the compressor, it sucks the air from the environment and then it's sent to a tank if it's an air compressor. Okay. Now think over it. Have you ever seen compressor?
No,
Anywhere?
sir.
No. Oh, come on. So anyway, explore the world. Huh? That is my only suggestion. So yes, anyone had seen compressor?
Yes, sir.
Does it make any sound?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. It makes when it
Yes.
sucks the
Yeah,
air.
like if it's costly, it makes lesser noise, but if it's cheaper, but it makes some noise, right? Why? And then I'll come back to Naman. Why it makes a noise? Do we need electricity to run the compressor?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it means we are providing energy, and that energy rotates this shaft or this rotor. So you got the point, Naman, that actually we have to provide the energy to run this rotor. Okay.
okay.
So now you tell me whether fluid is working on rotor or rotor is working on fluid.
Sir, we are providing energy now to rotor.
If you can be a bit enthusiastic, that will be that I will be very happy. I'm saying whether fluid is working on rotor or rotor is working on fluid or air, whatever it is, gas.
I think rotor is working on fluid.
Rotor is very good.
Because
Rotor is working on fluid, right? So then it means that if we consider fluid as our system, if we consider fluid as our system, then work is being done on the system or work is work done by the system.
work is being done on the system.
Very good. So work is thank you. So work is being done on the system. And how we define shaft work? Always. What is the conventional definition of shaft work? Anyone can say.
Shaft work is work done by the
By system. Always by system. Okay.
yes. So it will be negative
It
because
will be negative.
work is
That's all. Very good. Thank you, Nam. That's all. Anyway, so it means that for compressor, W shaft is negative because we have to spend the energy or external agent has to work in order to run the compressor. So that's why we spend electricity. And that's why when you want to buy the compressed gas like LPG, you have to pay. Of course, you are paying for the gas also, the chemical, due to its chemical nature, but you are also paying it for the cost, the cost which is required to compress it. Okay. So that you can liquefy. That we'll see that how we liquefy it, that's a different story. Okay. So now,
okay,
so
sir.
you know that W dot shaft is negative and it's there. Now let's solve the, and then I will leave you, then I will interact with someone else. Solve this equation, energy equation for compressor or pump. A steady state, of course. So which term will go away in this energy equation, Naman? So this will go away, steady state, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. We generally assume that velocities at inlet and outlet are equal. They don't change significantly. That is our assumption. So this is also gone. Okay,
So
I
it
am
will
writing very
cancel.
rough questions. And whatever I am writing, that is valid for your exams and whatever else, because we are doing approximated analysis, right? Like we are discussing simple cases. And that's how this whole industry works. This industry of compressor, pumps, turbines. We are not looking for very exact analysis, a rough estimate of energy. Okay. What do you think about Q dot? So generally we say that process is very fast or the heat losses are not so significant. So this is also gone, right? What about elevation? So generally we assume that they are almost at the
So
same
we
level.
are both are at the same elevation,
Yeah,
so that will
perfect.
also cancel.
Yes. So, and since inlet and outlet, okay, perfect. Now, I think I missed it something here, and that which, so we are at steady state, right? So what is MI, the relation between MI dot and ME dot? Anyone?
So would be same.
Same, right?
So static.
So that
So
will be
this
same,
time,
right?
yeah. So this time you cannot take it out and say it's zero because there is a WS. So the terms which are surviving now is this one, this one, this one with MI and M dot. So what mistake I have made here, that here I have to write M dot or throughput, right? This is M dot. Overall, I mean throughput of the or volumetric flow rate throughout this device. Okay. So this is the equation for compression. Okay. Here also M dot. Okay. So this is nothing but so see that we have this rate of work done and rate of mass transfer, both are rates, right? So can you tell me what we can say this? Work done per unit mass, because rate, so time will get cancelled. So sometimes people also call it work done per unit mass. Okay, anyway, it's your choice, because sometimes in problems this data will be given to you just to make the problem tricky. So then in place of this you can directly use whatever is given, work done per unit mass, because this rate will get cancelled here. This is rate of change of energy, I mean work done. This is rate of change of mass, so dt get cancelled. You get delta W by dm, and delta W by dm is nothing but work done per unit mass. Okay, so this is the equation for compressor. Clear, Raman? That HI
Yes,
minus
sir.
HE equal to W dot shaft by M dot. So what we'll get, HE is equal to HI minus W dot shaft by M dot, right? So what we'll get is this. This I am talking about compressor. Huh? So you have some enthalpy HI at inlet, right? Come on. And then W dot shaft is negative. That's what you said, right? You got convinced also. So negative,
Yes.
positive. It means the exit gas will have more enthalpy, which is according to expectation. If something is coming with some enthalpy, and if you are working on it, you are providing energy, so the exit enthalpy should be greater than inlet enthalpy, right? Not very greater, means greater than, sorry. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Got it.
Okay, thank you. Now
Yes,
I'll go to someone, I mean some other person. Thanks. Now we'll go to turbine. Let me see with whom. So Rakshit, you can hear me? Rakshit. Acha, Pratik, you can hear me? Pratik Kumar. Pratik.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes. Sorry, I'm a bit loud. Sometimes I sound a bit louder. Don't mind it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now we are going to discuss turbine. So now you see this diagram in the bottom. This GIF, this animation. What do you see? What is happening? Can you guess? Do you know what is the purpose of turbine?
Yes, sir. To produce electricity.
How it works? Like how turbine produces electricity? Just for the knowledge.
Sir, fluid. We flow the fluid and it
Yeah.
rotates the turbine and
Then, so turbine runs. So how electricity gets produced? Just for knowledge. Huh? What do you think? I mean, as an engineer, we should know this. Okay, turbine runs. So what happens? Turbine is just nothing but just a blade kind of fan. I mean, There is
Yes.
special kind of blades with fan so that it can rotate. It's just a fan. So fan rotates. What happens then?
Sir, it changes the magnetic field and produces the electricity.
Fine, great. So basically, electromagnetic principles
Yes.
we use here, right? Okay. Yeah. So it means that. So as you said, Pratik, that fluid
Yes.
is rotating the turbine, right?
Yes, sir.
So it means this time fluid is working, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me what is W dot shaft, positive or negative?
Sir, if fluid is working, then it is positive.
So that's what I have written, right?
Yes.
But otherwise, there is no difference in the equation. Same equation is valid for turbine also.
Yes, sir.
This time since W dot, and again here it's M dot, don't forget, by M dot, by M dot. So since this time W dot shaft is negative, so something will get deducted from your inlet enthalpy, right?
Yes,
And that's
sir.
what we expect. That since your fluid is working, and that part of energy is going to electricity, not 100%. That we'll see that you cannot convert everything to 100%. There is something called principle of degradation of energy, which is related to entropy. We'll see in detail in second law. So that part is going to electricity, and that's why the fluid which is coming out from the device, this turbine, its enthalpy will be lower than the inlet enthalpy, right?
Yes.
Understood? Great.
Yes.
Perfect. So we have seen thank you. We have seen nozzle, we have seen diffuser, we have seen compressor or pump, we have seen turbine. See what you see here, what is interesting thing you should notice that in various devices, various terms are important. For example, in nozzle and diffuser, what is important is enthalpy and velocity, kinetic energy, right? So in nozzle and diffuser, what is important is enthalpy and kinetic energy. Okay. Whereas in heat exchanger, only enthalpies are important, and of course mass flow rate. And then when we go for compressor and turbine, what generally it's called shaft devices, shaft based devices. Here, apart from enthalpy, what becomes important is shaft work. Okay, so you have to notice one thing: enthalpy occurs in all these equations, and that's why as a chemical engineer, enthalpy becomes very important for us, especially in thermodynamics. Enthalpy plays a major role. Okay, who's calling me?
Sir, like I have one doubt.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in heat exchanger, like we are working
Yeah.
at steady state, so mi dot is equals to me dot.
Yeah.
So that simply means like that hi is equals to he.
Why? Why so? No.
It's in the previous like page of a heat
Uh-huh.
exchanger.
Yes.
That you have written summation mi dot hi is equals to
Yes.
summation
True.
mo dot.
Yeah, fine. No, but this is only for a heat exchanger, na?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you are saying mi dot equal to m dot? No, no, no. See, that is valid for one pipe, right? Here in heat exchanger, you have always two
Okay,
pipes.
sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
There, since you have in other devices, you have only one like one pipe, one flow line. Na? Either here you have multiple flow lines. So
Okay,
that is the
sir.
difference. Okay, so don't forget to correct it. It's W dot software. This. So what I was saying that this enthalpy occurs everywhere, and that's why we are in thermodynamics we are used to make tables in terms of enthalpy. Okay, so in all these equations, enthalpy occurs. Now, whether this enthalpy change will be due to heat exchange or due to shaft work or it will change the kinetic energy. Based on that, we have various devices. In fact, for various devices, we got these various cases. Okay, now something very important. We will see that whether we can reach from here this thermodynamic equation to, have you ever heard any other equation similar to this? Bhavna, you are there? Hello? No, well, this is not the class, so Pooja, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
So have you ever seen any other equation? Not similar, yeah, I mean, not very similar, but something like this. See, it's an energy
Sir,
equation.
but
Any other energy equation? Yes.
sir, we have seen Bernoulli equation have
Very good.
similar
Right.
terms.
Bernoulli equation. Good. So let's see. By the way, what is it's NaUli, right? I always get confused. It's O. Is it correct or wrong? Bernoulli's.
Sir,
Can
O.
you? O, huh?
It's
I always get confused with this spelling of Bernoulli. Let's check it. Huh? I have doubt. I tried many times, but every time I forget the equation of the spelling of Bernoulli. Oh, okay, fine. I know you double Li. Okay, so let's see whether we can reach to this equation or not. And I will show you something very interesting here. Of course, in Bernoulli equation, we assume steady state, incompressible. Anything else you think? The assumption, if anyone remembers. If not, we will see what we need to add here. Okay, so I thought I should show you that from here also we can reach to Bernoulli equation. Okay, let's see how. So as you are saying steady state, this term gone. Okay, and generally we apply Bernoulli equation through such one flow line. And since we are talking about steady state, this mi dot and me dot is equal to throughput rate m dot. Fine. Okay. Now we will write HIE as, listen, see carefully. Acha, when you apply this, so write down. I need a blank page. So okay, write it here. Okay, let me open a new slide. It will be easier for you. Here, if I write, that will be fine. Wait. This term gone. Now, if that is gone, let's see what we. So write HI as UI plus PIVI. So what we'll write? MI dot and write HI as UI plus PI VI. Okay. Then we have VI square by 2 plus GZI. Okay. Plus Q dot. And this WS also I am using minus WS dot. Okay. That is equal to this term I am taking on the other side. M dot exit. And since both are equal, I'll just write M dot. You, yes, with whom I'm interacting, I forgot. Yes, come again. I mean, what we'll write? Yes. Hello, Pooja. Yeah, Pooja. Yes.
yes, sir. UE
UE
plus PEVE
plus
plus VE square by
yeah. Okay.
plus Z
Great.
GZE.
Yes. Now what I'll do, I will remove this M dot. I'll divide both sides by M dot. So here also I also have this M dot, and here also M dot. Okay. Great. Now let's say that there is no soft work. Let's say there is no soft work. Okay, because the principle which you remember, okay, is this Bernoulli equation. You don't have any turbine or any compressor, right, Pooja? That you just apply it for a one single flow line. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we don't have any soft work. This is gone. We don't have any heat exchange. This is gone. So we will left with this and see it carefully. Pi Vi plus, I will write it in a special fashion, Vi square by 2 plus Gzi. Okay, this Vi is specific volume. Don't this is velocity. Okay. Is equal to so this is at inlet, okay, and then this is equal to P exit V exit plus V exit square by 2 plus Gzi, okay, plus then if you write this term where this is remaining, okay, this and this. So what we can write it, this will be, I'll write it in a special fashion or write it this way, UE minus UI. Okay. In thermodynamics, this U is important because generally we deal with real fluids, which goes to vapor phase also, liquid phase also. So U is important. But when you are talking about in the fluid mechanics domain, where it's always in liquid phase, U is not so important. Now we'll see that where this U goes actually. Where this U goes. Okay, fine. So this is average molecular kinetic energy of fluid molecules which is entering, and this is the liquid molecules which is going out, the internal energy of those. Okay. Now if your liquid is viscous, what will happen? Can anyone tell me? I mean anyone, not only Pooja, anyone. If my liquid is viscous, what do you mean by viscous liquid? What happens? So if you are not aware, see, viscous is nothing but viscous effect is nothing but the friction between fluid layers. Okay. So if fluid layers are dragging on each other, if my fluid is viscous, what will happen? The energy will be dissipated, not lost, or lost is also fine, not destroyed. Remember, I'm not saying energy is destroyed. Energy will be dissipated. It will go in the form which is not usable. Energy will be dissipated. Can anyone guess in which form it will be dissipated? So which energy will decrease? Kinetic energy, because if your liquid is viscous, one layer will try to drag each other. So kinetic energy will decrease of the molecules. Means macroscopic kinetic energy, not this internal kinetic energy. So so that energy where will go? Energy will get dissipated. It will take which form? Anyone can guess?
For heat.
Heat. Very good. So it will take the form of heat. It means if liquid is viscous and if it's flowing through a pipe, then due to viscous effect, energy, kinetic energy will get dissipated. Macroscopic kinetic energy, macroscopic K generally, that will be dissipated in the form of heat. And if heat is getting generated, who answered this by the way? Heat. And I think you can answer the next question also. That's Tanmay. So if heat is getting generated, what do you expect? Which one is greater?
internal
UI or
energy will
UV?
increase. So
Very good. So you
UV
think
will
that
increase.
UE is greater than UI, right? It means
Yes.
UE minus UI is positive. Okay, it's a positive quantity. You agree? That's what we
Yes.
learned from our. Okay, so this is a positive quantity. Very good. A positive quantity which will be dissipated, right? And that's why we call this term as loss in fluid mechanics. You will read in fluid mechanics, or probably you have read as whatever, minor, major, both are same. Okay, just say losses. Have you done this, losses? Not yet.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
right. So now you can
Yes, sir.
understand.
We did.
Yes. So now you can understand that master equation is this from thermodynamics. In thermodynamics, since we play with air generally or gases, and gases are not very viscous or not very viscous. What do you think? In thermodynamics, you
Less
generally play with
viscous.
gases. So less viscous, very less viscous as compared to even water also. Water is the lowest viscosity. So since they are very less viscous, that heating effect is not so much, and U becomes important in a process, and that's why U also plays a role. That's why in thermodynamics we always play with combination of both U and PV, that is enthalpy. But when you go to the fluid mechanics domain, since liquids are far more viscous than gases, their viscous dissipation becomes important, and that energy get lost in the form of heat, and the temperature of the liquid increases, and that we know as losses. So this is the energy equation for fluids with losses. Now if you assume that your fluid is not so viscous, which we know as inviscid, what does it mean? That viscous losses are very minimal. Viscous losses are negligible. In that case, which term will drop? Tanmay, in this insert
Sir,
this
UE minus UI,
losses,
and it
simply
will
losses.
become Bernoulli's
Yeah.
equation.
And it will become Bernoulli's equation. So that's why I wanted to show you. Very good. Right, so it was a fruitful discussion. Thanks, Tanmay. So that's how you can see that even the Bernoulli equation you can start from this master equation. Okay. So now you can see that what are the assumptions in Bernoulli: steady state, incompressible, and inviscid. It means you are assuming that your viscous losses are negligible. Otherwise, this is the master equation, that this is equal to this plus losses. Okay. I think with this, you have enough idea of the energy equation. Great. So we have devices. We have seen 4 devices working at steady state: nozzle, diffuser, pump, compressor, turbine. Okay. We have seen enthalpy is important. We have seen sometimes a shaft work term matters. Sometimes kinetic energy matters. Sometimes only enthalpy matters, like heat exchanger. Now we are going to see something more profound and more interesting and more practical. And in all, in all your houses, such device exists. I'll show you what it is. Sorry, new page. Okay, now we are going to see throttling process. I'm sure you haven't heard about this before. Throttling process. We'll start it today and then we'll continue in the next class. So, first of all, what is throttling? Then we'll go to the science of throttling. So, what happens in throttling? That you pass the gas, okay, through a flow restriction, okay, like this. For example, this is partially closed valve, partially closed valve, or you can pass the air through a porous plug, okay, like this is the pipe, and you put something porous here, some porous material, porous plug. So when fluid will enter here, suddenly it will go through these various channels of this porous material, means through very narrow path. So whenever you offer a flow restriction to the flow, and then when this flow will again come out to a low pressure region, so this is, if this is P inlet and this, if this is P outlet or P exit, in throttling we maintain P always smaller than Pi. If you do that, it means if you take a gas at high pressure, if you take a gas or any fluid, real fluid at high pressure, and then if you pass it through a flow constriction like a porous plug or a partially closed valve, and then if this gas exits at a relatively lower pressure region, then that process is called throttling process, and it has been seen that this T exit is less than, not always, we will see, so I am not going to write this. But if that is the case, that when gas opens in a low pressure regime, P, okay, generally what happens, that gas cools down. This process is called throttling process, very important. Okay, so this process is called throttling process. What is important here is that in throttling process there is no heat exchange, there is no shaft work, velocities are equal, everything is equal, mass throughput is equal. Okay, so you will left with what? Can anyone guess? If everything is cancelled out, what we left with if in energy equation? Let me go to energy equation. Can anyone tell? Steady state, first of all. Okay, this is gone. Kinetic energy almost no change. Okay, I mean when it exits. In fact, we don't need to use this equation. Okay, don't involve this equation. This will unnecessarily make it complicated. So my suggestion that let's leave, don't involve this energy equation here, we don't need it. Okay, what is important here is, wait, what is important here is it's an isenthalpic process. Okay, so what happens here is that the inlet and outlet had same enthalpy, means why we will see soon. Hi equals to He. I am just introducing this to you, that what is throttling. So throttling is an isenthalpic process. Secondly, it's fundamentally irreversible process. Why? Because it is happening very fast. You pass the fluid or real gas to a flow constriction. So you are not doing it quasi-statically. It's a very fast process. Okay, so it's a fundamentally irreversible process. Fine. Okay, before we go to the isenthalpic process, I have a question to all of you. Maybe Sneh and Ayush, anyone can try. Do you think that the energy equation which we have derived is valid for a reversible process? Do you think so? Anyone has any guess?
For irreversible process,
Is it like restricted for a reversible process? Energy equation?
No, sir.
no,
No,
sir, actually,
because nowhere we have used integral PdV. We have just said that that work done, PV is coming because work is being done at the inlet and outlet with at the constant at At constant pressure Pi, inlet is getting pushed in. At constant pressure P exit, outlet is at outlet, liquid is going out, means liquid is pushing the external fluid. So you can apply it for a irreversible process without any doubt. Okay. The moment you use integral PdV, then only it's quasi-static. Okay. You keep in mind. Okay. Let's come back to throttling process. So we said what happens in throttling, that again I'm repeating that your fluid enters through a flow constriction, which you can create in many ways, like partially closed valve, or you can make an orifice in a plate, or you can take a porous plug. So suddenly this flow confronts a narrowed zone, and then when it passes through that zone, it again goes to a low pressure region. This process is called throttling. What will the effect of throttling, that we'll see, but it's a fundamentally irreversible process. Okay. So what we know, no work transfer. Remember this, there is no work transfer. Nothing is happening. So you are not, there is no soft work, no work transfer. You are not doing any work in this process. Just there is a fluid coming with some flow, and then it is going out. No heat transfer. Okay. Of course, it's an irreversible process. And now let's assume that delta K is 0. That this VI velocities are not very different at inlet and outlet, not through porous plug. Of course, when it will go through the constriction, velocities will be very high. But after that, when liquid comes out, so I mean here it's VI and here it's V. You can see that these cross sections are not different from each other. Of course, when fluid will be here in this regime, velocities will be very high. But when it will come out, and the place where we are measuring the pressure at this point, again velocity is not very different. Okay. So that's why I am saying delta K is 0. So with this, now apply energy equation for this throttling process. Okay. So if we'll do that, if you'll apply the energy equation, so you don't need to worry about slides. I will nicely fit it. I mean, I'll nicely manage everything. But here, since we are discussing, I'm not. So we'll finish soon. Just help me in this equation, that what we'll get for this throttling process from this energy equation. As you said, there is no restriction of reversibility in this equation. We can use it safely. That's why I discussed it. Okay. So Sneh, tell me which term will drop. Of course, steady state we assume. So this is gone. What else?
d by dt is 0, w s dot is 0.
Yeah, gone. Q dot gone. No heat transfer. It's a simply
G
flow.
z1 c z v1 square by
gone. And then of course this is also gone, right? We said that they are almost at inlet and outlet, they are almost same, right?
Yes, sir.
In the constriction, velocity is very high, but once it comes out, again the velocity is almost of the same order of inlet velocity. And steady state, so m dot I equals to m dot E, no doubt. So what you left with? Hi equal to He. And that's why it's called isenthalpic process. Okay, isenthalpic process. And that's why if you'll see the slide, I have written this in the heading itself, that it's an isenthalpic process. It's an irreversible process. Okay. Now tell me that when I say isenthalpic process, can we draw a flow diagram, let's say pressure or volume or anything, from inlet, when this flow is going from inlet to outlet? What do you think, Sneh?
For like flow diagram.
See what we know. Let me put this. It will help. Let's say I want to draw pressure volume, pressure specific volume. So what we know, Sneh, is P exit. Let's say a P inlet. Okay.
Yes, sir.
P inlet. Of course we know. So we know V inlet also. We know P exit also. Do we know the points in between?
No, sir.
No. Always remember. So when, although we are saying it's an isenthalpic process, means we are only claiming that the enthalpy at inlet and outlet are equal. In between what happens, we don't know, because it's an irreversible process. You cannot draw a line like this. No, this is not valid. We have no information in between. It's an irreversible process. We don't know anything. So when you say isenthalpic process, don't get confused that throughout the process enthalpy remains constant. No. Throughout the process, H may not be constant. We don't know. We have no idea what enthalpy. All we know is that Hi equals to He. In that sense, we are saying isenthalpic. So never get confused that throughout the process enthalpy is constant. No. Okay. Yes, guys. So this with this, just a small. I will leave this lecture at a curious point. That generally it has seen that at low pressure. Okay, let me put it in a proper way. I will open a new slide or a new page. It has been seen that if this is Pi and if this is Pe, okay. Here we maintain Pe, okay. Can anyone tell how we can maintain this Pe? So we know P inlet, we are maintaining inlet gas inlet pressure at some pressure, and we are maintaining P outlet also at a smaller pressure than P. How we can do it? Anyone? Any guess? So I just show you how it is done, so that you can let's say this is the porous. You can imagine it also that how we do it. So if this is a porous plug, generally what you can do that you can put a piston here, okay, and you can you can put some gas from some source, okay, and here also have a piston trapped in a chamber, and here also you have some inlet. Now maintaining this, if you fill more and more gas inside this, there will be more pressure here, so this will pump this gas through this constriction, and here if you want to maintain the lower pressure, then you can remove gas from this piston. So there is this, it's a two piston system, and both pistons are trapped here and here. By this two trap system, you can maintain Pi and P, whatever you want. So and then here is this porous plug. So generally in throttling, what we do, we maintain P exit at a lower pressure than P inlet. Okay, and it will happen naturally also, you can think, because since fluid is passing through a constriction, what do you think? Fluid will lose its energy or it will gain energy?
Will lose energy.
It will lose. So it will lose, then there is a loss of pressure head. So anyway, pressure will be lower, but you have to maintain at certain lower pressure. Okay, no doubt that the exit pressure by default will be smaller than P inlet, but you have to maintain it at some lower pressure. Okay, if you do that, then at low, listen carefully, at low exit pressure, means P, it has been seen that T is less than Ti. What does it mean? Gas is cooling down or heating up?
Cooling down.
Cooling down. It means the main purpose of throttling device in all industrial application is cooling down a gas. And today, when you will go after this lecture, cooling down. After this lecture, when you will leave this lecture, I want all of you to go to your fridge and check whether there is a throttling device or not. Here I have shown you. So you will see something like this. So please check. So I'm sure many of you have seen this one, such kind of thing behind your fridge.
Yes, sir.
And this is connected with a throttler. So next day when we will meet, we will see that how this throttling is so important for all refrigeration equipment. Otherwise, it will not work. And that's why I said throttling is very important. So today, when you leave this lecture, go and see your fridge. You will see this one. Of course, you have seen where hot heat is coming out, and just below you will see this throttler also. And depending on the quality of the throttler, also the price of refrigerator varies. If you take a cheap quality fridge, the manufacturer is providing a very cheap quality of throttler. It will not Or sometimes throttlers are uncontrolled. They cool so much that everything will get freezed in that deep freezer section. Anyway, so that's all, guys. Thank you. I think that now after this throttling, you will feel that how important this subject is. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
your
you,
time.
sir.
Okay, thanks. Bye.